Hello, in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to evaluate websites and online sources using the CRAAP research method. So what does CRAAP stand for? C stands for currency, R stands for relevance, A stands for authority, the second A stands for accuracy, and P stands for purpose. Now let's take a closer look at each of these pieces. One of the first things you want to consider when trying to determine if a website is valid and useful for your research is ask yourself, is the information still relevant? You can better gauge this by asking yourself 3 questions. Number 1, when was the website published or last updated? 2, is the information current? And 3, if there are links on the web page, do they actually work? So remember, as you're doing your research, you want to always make sure you have the most current data. This is especially true if you're researching something like technology or medicine where information is constantly changing. Next, you want to ask yourself, is the website relevant? In other words, does the website actually give you information about the topic you are researching? So as you're going through resources, be sure to ask yourself these 3 questions to keep yourself focused on your topic. First question, is the information relevant to your topic? Second, who is the intended audience of the website? And finally, have you looked at a variety of sources to determine that you are picking from the very best? Now that you've located some potential sources, we want to start looking at whether or not we can trust these sources. So when we talk about authority, we're asking ourselves who is providing this information. We want to make sure that the people providing us the information are indeed reliable. So to figure that out, we could ask ourselves these 3 simple questions. Number 1, who is the author, publisher, or the sponsor? Number 2, is the author actually qualified to speak on the topic? And number 3, you can verify some of this information if there's an About the Author section. In this section, the author will usually mention their education, their expertise, or their experience in the topic. Read that information and see if you can verify it. And while you're at it, go ahead and take a moment to look up any information you can find on the publisher or the sponsor of the page, because they are responsible for actually putting the information on the web. The next thing you want to determine is the accuracy of the information. Do you think the information is correct? After you carefully read the information from the source, ask yourself, does it seem plausible? Where did the information come from? And can you verify that information? And finally, if the author makes claims or provides statistics, do they provide any sources for this information? And if they do, check that out too. And finally, you need to determine the purpose of the web page. Why was it even created? This can be kind of hard to do sometimes, but it's really important that you check out who's responsible for this information. You can start by asking yourself, what is the purpose of the web page? Is it to inform, sell, persuade, or entertain? Next, consider the information. Are you being presented with facts? Is it an opinion, or is it propaganda? Next, is the information biased or balanced? In other words, are you being told both sides of a story? And finally, scan the resource for ads on the page. Are the ads on the page simply to help pay for the website? Or does the content of the web page there to promote or persuade you to buy the product featured in the ad? So in conclusion, there's an enormous amount of data available to you online. But there's also a massive amount of unreliable information. And if you're not careful, you're going to spread misinformation. So as you research your topics, make sure you apply the CRAAP method or a similar method to help you determine whether or not the resources you find online are indeed reliable and accurate, so that you can use them and also cite them in your research. Thanks for watching the video and happy researching!